Are you looking for a professional wetland scientist? Well, if the answer is yes, stick around. So, you've been told you need to find yourself a professional wetland scientist, or PWS, and you have absolutely no idea where to look or what that means. Well, the purpose of this video is to give you a heads up on how to find this information and to say a few words about it. Now, what we have here is the Society of Wetland Scientists webpage. It's at sws.org, and it's through the Society of Wetland Scientists that the Professional Wetland Scientist Certification is issued. If you look at what these folks are about, you can see that they're all about wetlands from A to Z, but this is an international organization. 3,000 members in more than 60 countries. This is an international certification recognized all over the place. So in the wetlands world, honestly, this is the Super Bowl trophy of the wetland professional field. So it is a big deal to earn a professional wetland scientist certification. Now, this webpage here is linked to the SWS site. It's wetlandscert.org, and it's a place where you can find what it takes to become a professional wetland scientist. So what you do is you click right here on requirements, and you can see that it's quite lengthy. You got to have the right university or college education, and there's a lot of classes that they look for in terms of what you've taken. You need to have professional experience, and you also need to have the ability to write a pretty long essay about yourself. You can, kind of play your fiddle and pat your shoulder and let them know that you are good to go and want a PWS. And then, of course, you need to document all kinds of stuff, education, experience. Check this out, 5 references. You pay your fee, and they review it. And if you're good to go, then you wind up getting a certification. What's that look like? Well, let's check that out. So what we've got here is a letter that they issue you saying congratulations, you're on board, and give you some guidelines on how to stay in good standing. There is a code of ethics that you need to follow to remain in good standing as a PWS. And then finally, the cool thing with the gold badge is the PWS certification itself. And you can see mine's good till December 31st, 2024. So let's go back actually to this page and show you something that you'll find really useful. Now, oftentimes you will find that cities, counties, and the Department of Ecology will tell you that you need to get a PWS and then hook you up with a link to this page right here. This blue box is what you want to zero in on. You can search for professional wetland scientist by last name, by city, or state. Now, I think there's room for improvement in this particular search utility. I really think they should add county as a search term, and I've emailed them such, but let's just see how this works. So if you look in the state of Washington, you will find that in the state, there's quite a few folks. It says that there's 330 PWSs in the state of Washington. But what's important is who's in your area, who knows the environment around where you live, and who's within a reasonable driving distance of your home. Well, if you live in Yakima, which is a big city near where I live, you could type in city and come up with an absolute bullseye, right? A giant 0 for any hits, which is just kind of disappointing. And if you get that, you're like, well, what do I do next? See, my town has 7,000 people. It's like a nowhere place. So if you type in Sela, you'll get a hit, but who would think of typing in Sela? So the city itself as a search term is very limited, but if you click on the details of a particular PWS, you can get the breakdown of, their specifications, how to contact them, and then a list of different kinds of specialties that they have told the SWS that they'd be willing to address as a professional. So it's pretty simple. You can basically type in a last name as well if you know what the last name is. Word of mouth is pretty much how I get work anymore, and it's really powerful. So if you type in last name, you can see all my relatives across the country. Well, maybe not, but here I am, and that's it. So folks, you've had a breakdown, a rundown, a heads up on what a PWS is. You've got some links in the description below on how to research it. And so if you're looking for a PWS here in Eastern Washington, you need some help, feel free to give me a call, and I'd be happy to hear what you got cooking. Y'all have a good night. Take care.